We see in the news every day that, such and such person made a fortune in such a short time, maybe in stocks, maybe as a businessman who started a new venture and suddenly became successful within a year or two, or a billionaire who became successful in a very short time. We hear a lot of news, especially and on YouTube. There are channels promoting, people who've made a fortune very fast. But we should also know that for the same kind of information which is being projected, there would be 10,000 people who have lost much of their resources trying to follow and make a fortune very fast in the world, because their primary focus was on wealth and money. Even people who've made a fortune fast, it's not because that they've focused on wealth or money. They were much more committed to the project, and invariably, if they liked it or not, if they had a vision or not, if they were focused on the purpose of their project, which in turn helped a lot of people who solved a problem, solved a crucial problem of people, then the company was bound to be prosperous. And you find a lot of people who are kind of committed to the idea. They might not be in sync with the energies of the earth, but somehow or the other, because of their commitment to the idea and because of their dedication to the purpose of their focus on what they wanted to do and be successful, it worked with the energies of the earth, and invariably they became successful. But copying the same fact, you find a lot of people trying to emulate the same, and then they go haywire in their life because they are not able to replicate the same kind of success, and after being a failure, they again blame the system. I think we should blame anything on ourselves, If you're going just by what you see on the television, what you see on YouTube, and the only reason why videos on YouTube go on millions of views is because it sells an idea which is deep in your mind with the carnal desires of making a quick buck, the deep carnal desires of getting a reward as soon as possible without thinking about the energies of the universe or the real purpose behind the idea, is what drives us to watch get rich quick schemes, people who have made a fortune very fast. And the same person who has made a fortune very fast, also we see that they put out courses, by which you can just copy them and then try the same. It just does not work that way, because anything that you gain fast also, as you see in the stock markets. Why I go back to the stock markets, because the stock markets is a gauge, weighing scale of greed versus a system. Greed is associated with the carnal instinct in humans, and the stock market is the best system by which it can gauge the greed as well as the system of approach of people, the level-headedness by which they follow a system of trading, or people who are driven by the carnal desires of making a fast buck through amplified greed, and by which they lose most. As you know that people who make money make a fortune in the stock markets, which is quite on the very low scale of maybe 20% or much less than that. I would say it's just 5% if you go through the history of all kinds of investors and all kinds of mindset of investors. It is hardly maybe 5% who really stay on and make money. Now, making money is not in terms of making money. It is about understanding a company, You must focus on an idea of the company as to what the company is going to do. If you're going to buy a share in a company, you should know as to what's the product of the company. Is it moving with the universal energies? Will it help the future generations? Is it helping the present generations as of now? Is it solving a deep problem in people? And what is the end game of the balance sheet? And is it overvalued? Most importantly, we should also focus on the future, We should only invest in companies which help the future generations, which will be an asset to the unborn child into the future, which will be a source of inspiration for future, by which the generation in the future will thank you for investing in the company as of now. But as of now, since everything is projected in terms of a fast buck, we should not let our carnal energies, carnal desires, which dates back to 50,000 years, just like the caveman who wanted a fast meal. Because that same wiring is still within us. You should know that. Our evolution into the new modern age is just around 1,000 years back in the true sense of evolution of ideas and creativity. We have evolved in the past 10 to 20,000 years, but the fastest evolution has been only just in the past 10,000 years. The history of humans, as we see, goes back to more than 100,000 years. So our brains are still evolved over 100,000 years, and it's just in the past 1,000 years that our brains have started tuning to the creative force of the universe, which makes us one with the creative energies of creation in minute degrees. But our minds go back into the carnal caveman's mind very fast. And we can see that in the stock markets. The carnal instincts are driven, and then people go into extreme greed. And the more people get greedy, the people with a clear system of approach within the stock markets, with a clear head and with a long-term approach, gain all the money. Now, money is not in terms of what you see in your hand. It is an expression of the mind. It is an energy, you should know. When you invest your energy, you invest the idea, the energy of the universe is expressed in money. And it is up to you to adopt the right kind of management with the creative energies given by the godly force, and invest in companies which will excel into the future. And with a clear sense of purpose, when you invest, the investment will grow with the energies of the universe. You will think on the long-term basis. You should know that people also who make money by fluke, it is about their attitude towards life, You see, when you play poker or you go into a slot machine in gambling, which I have not, but I've kind of understood, there can be stages by which you start to win. Maybe the initial stage. And the owner of a gambling unit, the first purpose would be to encourage people to win initially, small. So the same thing happens. People start winning, and then they get into a mindset. The mindset is the most important factor which differentiates us from every other species of life. So once you get into the mindset of making immediate gains within your carnal desires, and which is also one in resemblance to gambling, you will invest in small quantities and you might gain. You might gain even 10 times at a stretch, I would say. In a period of 1 or 2 years, you might make a fortune. But then your mind is conditioned to move with that kind of thinking. And you will get into one such investment or one such investment with the stock markets, which helped you get there. in terms of you're thinking of making a fast buck, then you lose everything. That's what happens in the stock markets. All of a sudden you lose everything. You win a lot, and then you make a big investment based on your experience of winning. And then it goes back to ground zero, and sometimes people even get into minus. They do not own anything, and then they get into enormous debts. This is the story of a lot of people. But what you hear is the winning of maybe 5-10 times, which brought that mindset. And then you see all kinds of videos, you see all kinds of television channels who have appreciated the person who has won. But it's all about the mindset. If you're a mindset with the creative energies of the universe, which helps the future generations, you'll invest in ideas, you'll invest in companies which will flourish into the future, invariably. Thereby your life on earth, your future generations, you will have a clear-cut mindset. You will have a foundation within the ground by which the tree of life will grow into the future, which will help the future generations, which will be one with all of the energies that you see around you, the oxygen that you breathe, the water, the gravitation force which keeps you within the earth, the wind, the water, the rains, all of them will be happy because you've invested with a clear purpose, and those energies will help you, your company into the future, your ideas into the future. Our companies will generate, our investments will generate into the future in terms of absolute prosperity in the present time and into the future. And your thought process will be one with the creative force of the universe, the source code of God. Let's replenish our earth. In today's day and age, we see, especially in developing countries and in the developed countries, that there's a lot of financing happening for startups. Financing happening for startups who tend to be with the energies of the earth, who germinate new ideas in the future, but created with an intention of serving the future generations, helping the future of our earth, helping the future of life systems, which includes renewable energies and technologies into the future, which includes AI, deep learning, the latest of technologies in electronics, AI chips. Although the initial clear direction is towards constructing companies, ideas which germinate into companies, ideas which germinate from teams, through entrepreneurship, through seed funds from different financing sources. It is a very wonderful step. It is a step in the right direction of the future of our earth, future of a universe. I would say there are billions of dollars being poured into the future of our earth, the future of everything that we see around us, because that is the only meaning to our lives. But we must understand that although there's so much of financing available, over a period of time, from the initial inception stage, companies tend to get lost, and the carnal desires of the entrepreneurs take over and the company loses focus. It's very important to give a valid consideration for the financing which is happening in terms of future ideas, in terms of seed funds moving into the future, in terms of venture capitalists, in terms of new startups working towards the future of the earth, into future technologies. It's very important to stay with the initial conception, which means that you will have to move with the energies of the earth. Your idea should germinate into the future, in the present time, so that it helps the future. It helps millions of people as of now, as well as into the future. It will help the future children, the future generations. It will help every system of life that we see around us. Now we see companies in the financing field, we see companies in roadways, highways, telecommunications, food systems, the nourishment. All of these are wonderful ideas which germinate from a concept of serving the future in the present time. When you're eating the right kind of nourishment, which is not just meant for your taste buds in your tongue, but which is meant for your overall health, which includes your mental, physical, as well as your spiritual health, you're working with the future energies of the earth. You are conditioning yourself, your body, mind and soul, to work with the energies of the earth, and the product that you envision, the product that you produce based on this as a startup will help you. But the problem is, over a period of time, everything is lost to the concept of making money as soon as possible. It's very, very important for us to revise our strategies and base it solely on the purpose of serving people, of serving the future generation. And once you have that basic concept deep within your subconscious, in your startups, in your seed funds, in all kinds of ventures that you move into the billions of dollars which are being pumped into renewable energies, into sustainable future for our earth, for everything that we see around us, we must understand that our focus must be on the purpose. The moment you lose your focus on the purpose, your company starts to lose direction. The moment you start to focus on wealth, money, and trying to satisfy the carnal desires of the promoters, the company loses focus. So it's very essential to revise and retreat back into the basic purpose of why your company has been funded with the enormous amounts of money, so that it can germinate into the future in the present times, helping you also prosper. But your focus is on the purpose. That is the crucial mantra. That is the only difference which makes companies successful. As we see today, it's become a fashion, so that billions of dollars are being pumped without any kind of reasoning into startups, and then startups take it up as a opportunity. Sometimes, and many a time, they do not have a clear purpose. The purpose revolves over a period of time just into money, and then companies are losing the focus, the direction, and then they are being closed up. Billions of dollars are being lost. I would say that any kind of financing for companies, for ideas which generate into the future, should not be based on money being pumped or wealth being pumped into the ideas of the promoters. It should start from a small seed fund, and then it should grow as with the purpose. We see today that many startups are being closed. A lot of money is being put into it as a stock investment, or as an investment idea, or as more in terms of gambling. Venture capitalists are taking up maybe 5 to 10 companies and then funding many entrepreneurs, and then maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of them become successful. I think we should change that kind of structure. We should go from a small investment, and with the purpose of serving a larger percentage of people, maybe 1,000, maybe 1,000,000, maybe within your district, maybe within a state, maybe within a country, maybe across the world, just like the big apps or the Gmail systems or the WhatsApp systems or any kind of apps which help millions of people. The basic funding should be at a minimal stage at first, and then it should grow with the purpose. And I would say with 100% assurance that if you are with the purpose of the energies of the earth, if you're working sincerely with the purpose of serving the future in your present time, your ideas will germinate along with the energies of the earth, and you will Be successful in your ideas. Your company, your idea will grow into the future. Millions of people will grow along with you. Just like the top corporations of the earth. As we said before, some of the top corporations of the earth, the owners just own just 3%, but millions of people are being helped. And the company is going along with the energy of the earth, serving the population of the earth, the vast majority of the population of the earth, and also into the future through the ideas they germinate as of now. Let's replenish our earth.